You might be doing everything right for your health, eating well, staying active, even taking daily vitamins, and yet something still feels off. More tired than you used to be, a little foggy. Maybe your body just doesn't respond the way it once did. Here's something many people aren't told. As we get older, the way our bodies handle nutrients quietly changes. What worked at 40 doesn't always work the same way at 60, and sometimes it's not about needing more vitamins, but understanding how balance, absorption, and form really matter. If you've ever wondered why supplements feel confusing or why doing the right thing doesn't always bring the results you expect, you're not alone. This video is about clearing up that confusion, calmly, responsibly, and without scare tactics. Before we continue, take a moment. Have you noticed any changes in your energy, focus, or how your body reacts to supplements lately? Share your experience in the comments, and stay with me. Because one small detail most people overlook could completely change how you think about your health going forward. You might be doing everything you've been told is good for your health, eating balanced meals, staying active, taking a daily vitamin, and yet something still feels off. Your energy isn't what it used to be. Your focus comes and goes. Little changes show up quietly, and you find yourself wondering, is this just aging, or is there something more going on? That question is more common than people admit, and it's not coming from fear, it's coming from awareness. As we get older, our bodies don't work against us, but they do work differently. The systems that once handled nutrients efficiently begin to slow, adapt, and change. What supported you in your 40s may not support you the same way in your 60s, and that's not failure, it's biology. For years, health conversations around vitamins have been overly simple. If something is good, more must be better. If a little helps, a lot must help more. But aging teaches us a different lesson. Balance matters more than quantity. After 60, the way your body processes, stores, and clears nutrients becomes more selective. Some vitamins stay longer, others don't absorb as easily, and some interact with each other in ways that aren't obvious from a label on a bottle. This is where confusion often starts. Many people assume that if a supplement is available over the counter, it must automatically be safe for everyone at any stage of life. But supplements aren't food, and they aren't medications either. They exist in a gray area that requires a bit more thought, especially as our bodies change. Understanding that shift alone can take a lot of pressure off. It's not that you're doing something wrong, it's that the rules quietly changed. Another layer that adds to the confusion is the difference between nutrients that come from whole foods and those created in a lab. This isn't about good or bad, natural or synthetic. It's about how the body recognizes and handles what it receives. When you eat nutrients in food, they arrive packaged with fiber, enzymes, and supporting compounds that help guide absorption. Supplements, on the other hand, are often isolated forms, designed to deliver a specific amount in a small space. That can be useful in some contexts, but it can also behave differently once inside the body, especially later in life. As digestion changes with age, the stomach may produce less acid. The gut lining may become less efficient. Enzymes that once broke things down easily may slow. That means even people who eat well can absorb nutrients differently than they used to. You might be getting enough on paper, but your body may be using less of it, or holding on to it longer than expected. This is one reason why people sometimes say, I'm doing everything right, but I still don't feel like myself. There's also the piece that almost never gets talked about, how vitamins interact with each other. We're used to thinking in single nutrients. Vitamin D for bones, calcium for strength, B vitamins for energy. But the body doesn't work in isolation. Nutrients share pathways. Some support each other, others compete for absorption. When one is out of balance, it can influence how another behaves. This doesn't mean interactions are dangerous. It means they're complex, and complexity requires awareness, not fear. Many everyday signs that people write off as just getting older sit right in this gray zone. Feeling more tired than usual, occasional brain fog, subtle balance changes, tingling sensations that come and go. None of these automatically mean something is wrong, and none of them should be self-diagnosed. But they do highlight how closely nutrition, aging, and daily function are connected. The body is constantly sending signals, not alarms, just information. Learning to listen without panicking is one of the healthiest skills we can develop. What's reassuring is that most of this conversation isn't about fixing problems. It's about understanding patterns. Aging isn't a cliff. It's a gradual shift. And once you understand that shift, many health choices become less stressful. Instead of asking, what supplement should I take? The better question becomes, what does my body need now, and how does it handle what I give it? This is why absorption matters so much. Even with a healthy diet, even with good habits, the body's ability to take in nutrients changes over time. It's not uncommon for people to feel frustrated when blood work, diets, and routines don't seem to match how they feel. That gap often comes down to how nutrients are absorbed and utilized, not whether someone is trying hard enough. Recognizing that can replace guilt with understanding. At the same time, smarter supplement habits don't mean avoiding supplements altogether. They mean approaching them with the same thoughtfulness we apply to food, movement, and rest. Moderation, awareness, reading labels, understanding that more isn't always better, and that consistency often matters more than intensity. It also means recognizing that conversations with healthcare professionals about supplements are just as valid as conversations about medications. Not because supplements are dangerous, but because they're active substances in a changing body. One of the most empowering shifts people make as they age is moving from reaction to awareness. Instead of chasing the latest trend or headline, they start noticing how their body responds to routines over time. They become curious instead of anxious, informed instead of overwhelmed. That mindset alone supports long-term well-being more than any single product ever could. Health, especially later in life, isn't about perfection. It's about adaptability. It's about understanding that your body is still working for you. It's just asking for a different kind of attention. When we stop treating aging as a problem to solve and start treating it as a phase to understand, the entire conversation changes. If any of this feels familiar, if you've ever wondered why your energy feels different, or why supplements don't seem as straightforward as they once did, you're not alone. These are shared experiences, not personal failures, and talking about them openly helps everyone feel a little less confused and a lot more supported. If this conversation resonates with you, take a moment to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Someone else watching may be asking the same quiet questions you are, and if you know someone who's navigating these changes too, sharing this video might help them feel a bit more informed and reassured. As we keep exploring health, aging, and everyday well-being together, there's one thing worth remembering. Understanding your body today is one of the most powerful ways to support it tomorrow. And in the next part, we'll look even closer at how small, informed shifts can make a meaningful difference over time.